Hello, everybody, and welcome to News and Views for November the 20th, 2025. Top story this week, top story today, is that the province has announced, as of this afternoon officially, that they will be building an overpass at the intersection of Highway 1 and Highway 5 just outside of Carberry. The Minister Naylor and Premier Canoe were in Carberry just this afternoon to make the announcement. They are expecting completion roughly 2029, 2030. There are a lot of steps to go before they can even begin construction of the overpass. So this is very preliminary at this point. And it is budgeted at around $100 million. So this year they are going to be finishing preliminary plans, then moving on to engineering, and then moving on to construction. Construction itself expected to take about 2.5 years. Also on the show today, the Beautiful Plains Community Foundation 30th Anniversary Gala is coming up on Saturday, December 6th, coming up very quickly. They are still looking to sell some more tickets to this event. So please contact them as soon as possible. Tickets are $75. They also have special rates if you buy a table or if you are buy a VIP table with special perks. So do get in touch with them. Honestly, today, if you're interested in going, they would love to hear from you as soon as possible to sell out this gala. And of course, the Beautiful Plains Community Theatre. We've been hearing a little bit about them lately. They will be doing a production next spring, but before that, they are doing a fundraiser this winter. That is December 7th. That's a Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. at Knox Presbyterian. They are going to be doing a reading of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol along with Christmas carols. This is a production that Whitemud Comedy Company used to do. It sort of trickled out right before the pandemic lockdowns and is now being revived by the Community Theatre as a fundraiser for their upcoming first production, which will take place April, May next year. It will be Sister Act. Auditions were rescheduled, but keep an eye out. They will be announced very soon. So if you have anything else going on, anything you'd like us to know about or come out and film for you, especially over this holiday season, please do get in touch with us. You can reach us at 204-476-2639 or by email nactv@wcgwave.ca. Thanks and enjoy the show.
We're here to share the news with everyone here in town and in the surrounding area that we're going to build an overpass at the Trans-Canada and Highway 5. And just to talk a little bit about what that's going to mean. It's not like any other intersection. And so I want to thank the Minister for being understanding of that, as well as the people who work in her department, because as you know, they came forward with an earlier recommendation that they believed in and thought was going to be the right path forward, and they did that in good faith. But after hearing from your perspective, hearing the voices of other folks in the surrounding region, you know, it was really important for me to say, well, we got to get this right. The costing right now, we're looking at about $100 million in terms of the overall budget for this project. Timeline being another consideration, because we had to take a step back. And now we're going to be redoing the design and engineering around this project. We're looking at using the remainder of this fiscal year. So the 25-26 fiscal year is going to be about locking in those next steps in terms of design. Heading into the next year, that's the engineering, the land acquisition, because as you know, like surrounding the Trans-Canada, we're going to have to put the pieces of land together to be able to build this new overpass. And then construction should start heading into that following year, 2027. At best guess, they're telling us 2.5 years, 2.5 years for the actual construction phase. So if we hit all those timelines, you know, heading into 2029, 2030, the overpass should be open, should be functional. Again, the design and work plan might mean that segments of it open earlier, right? Because we might be able to do that. But just at a very, very high level, sharing those broad timelines with you and the broad budget with you.
the announcement today?
We're extremely happy, beyond happy. Initially surprised, but very thankful that they listened, that they heard us, and they're taking action. And it'll happen very soon, sooner than we thought. So we're beyond happy.
Wonderful. And you think that your efforts this summer and this spring had a big impact on this?
Most definitely.
Well, I think our council, we're very supportive of what the government's deciding to do here now. It's an important thing. It was a bad accident that happened, and this, to me, is going to make things an awful lot safer, yes. It was a pretty quick reaction. We had no comment about this until 5 minutes ago. We talked to the minister, we talked to the premier, and they never said anything about what was going on until right now. So.
Yeah, we were politely asked to just hold off comment until they had the chance to do the announcement today. And we had just in the last few days known that it was possibly going to be an overpass, but details were yet to come for today. So we're happy that our ratepayers and council were heard on the issues and their feelings on the R-cut. So we're happy this is moving forward. I know 2.5 years is still going to feel like a long time for those of us that cross the intersection every day and have kids in the car or trying to haul cattle or whatever, but 2.5 years is definitely a step in the right direction for sure.
How about you?
Someone made the point, this is going to be Canada's overpass. Does that sound weird? Yes, it's outside of Carberry because of a horrible tragedy. Yes, it's on Manitoba, but we're east-west here, from coast to coast.
Yeah. When we talked about the R-cut or whatever, it was always the province that was paying for it. It should be the federal. They should be kicking in something, I would think. And maybe yet they will. But I also spoke, I think I said something to somebody earlier on Wednesday after the announcement was made. A woman from Dauphin called me, or messaged me rather. Her mother was on the bus that day and she died on scene. So she's spoken to several people up there and she thanked us, as in our community, for fighting for this overpass, and she says everybody up in Dauphin that she's talked to that's related to the accident is 100% in support. They're happy it's going to be an overpass, so that's a big thing.
It's important to be here for the community. There's been so much that they've gone through in terms of the terrible tragedy, the impact on first responders and community members, putting up a memorial. We want to get it right. We want safety to be first. There's obviously many issues around the economy and the community that are part of that. But first and foremost, let's do the right thing. Let's take the time to listen and hear the message of the community.
And on a day like this, when it is such a good mood, one will tread lightly on the capital budget subject. So where will the money come from?
Well, this is the work that we did over the past few months, was to just identify how can we add this option that is going to cost more than what was previously contemplated. And effectively what we did is we just looked at certain other projects that for whatever reason weren't moving ahead, and we just kind of put all that together and came through with a path towards financing this. So yeah, a few $1 million this year, a few $1 million next year, and then when shovels hit the ground, that's where that larger kind of investment will come forward.
And my second and last question, it's a Canada highway, right? Someone made that point today. We're right
So I fully support that point.
So then maybe a call needs to be made, an email.
We had an excellent meeting with Prime Minister Carney last weekend leading up to the Grey Cup. We definitely would love to see the Government of Canada, our federal government, invest in this project, the twinning of Highway 1, so many of the other infrastructure projects. I think we got a good partner there, and so it's his first budget. We're going to give him the time to get his feet under him, and we'll be there ready to work together.
Hi, welcome to Coffee Chat. It is November 19th, 2025. Exciting times coming up for the Beautiful Plains Community Foundation as they are hosting their 30th anniversary celebrations. Now, I'm joined by none other than Colleen Taylor. Colleen, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Josh.
Now,
Thanks.
Colleen, the Beautiful Plains Community Foundation has been around for 30 years. It's a big milestone. Now, for you personally, can you talk about why you joined the foundation and kind of what drew you to it.
Well, I retired from teaching, and I also retired from subbing just at Christmas last year. And I felt like I didn't know enough about the foundation. This is going to be the start of my 4th year on the board. But what drew me to it the first time I went for the first year was that I didn't know a lot about the foundation, and I thought I need to get involved and find out more about it. So that's sort of what drew me in. And then as I've worked the last 3 years, I'm sort of feeling like I want to continue. I'm retired, and they do really great things for the community.
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned that you didn't really know a lot about the foundation when you've joined. Now that you're 4 years in, what is something that's kind of stood out to you, or you've learned about the foundation and kind of grew to appreciate, so to speak?
Well, I have served on the grants committee. And so when people apply for a grant, we have to go through their grant application and look at what they're asking for. And so I've learned that process, and we do really good things for people within our community and surrounding area by helping them to either fix their community center or build bathrooms that are wheelchair accessible. You name it. When they apply for a grant, we go through it and we look at, the validity of the grant. And yeah, that's sort of what I've learned.
And that's very good lessons to take away. Now, this is kind of like a really big transition, or a really good transition, I should say, into the questions that I actually have written down now. So the 30th anniversary is a really big thing. So you kind of broke it down, but so basically the Beautiful Plains Community Foundation, can you just kind of explain the, I guess, endowment part and how they're able to give away these funds?
Right. So the endowment, the foundations in Manitoba were helped by the Still Fund that they were able to start with. Mm-hmm. And then from there, you invest that money, and then endowment Manitoba tells you what percentage of that money you can gift out for grants. And so that's sort of how we got started and how the endowment fund works to build upon that. And so we have a large amount of money that keeps getting invested, and we take the interest off of that and we give that to different organizations through their grant applications.
And that's a great great premise, because obviously you guys have done so much for the community. Even remembering this is, I guess, personal to me in a sense, because mm-hmm. I remember growing up in high school, I was part of the youth advisory committee.
Yes.
And then from there, what you guys did was you gave us a few $1,000s, yes. I think it was. And then from there, it gets allotted. And I know at the luncheon that you guys held in the spring, summer, it was very nice and very gratifying for me to see the youth advisory committee still out there,
sure, Josh.
Still giving those grants. So all in all, you guys do just a lot of work for the community. So just in your 4 years here, Colleen, how have you seen the needs in our community kind of evolve, and just the grants that you guys are handing out?
Well, of course, we have quite a cultural diversity now. And so our board is aware of that. And we have received applications from the Filipino community, and we are helping with their cultural days by granting, giving them grants of money to help towards that. And we're aware that we need to be watching that part of our community and, trying to see what we can do to include them, to be inclusive as an organization, and to help with that cultural diversity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then one thing I'd like to add as well, we were talking about it, but the impact the foundation has made. So as we've mentioned, it's your 30th anniversary.
Right.
And $1.8 million has been given out to local organizations. That's just such a big number. Is there any within your time there, are there any grants that you guys have given out that kind of have struck a chord with you, or like that you kind of remember and were like gratified to see?
Well, I know that this past year we gave out a considerable amount of money to the Yellowhead Center to help with that maintenance of that plant that is so needing to be replaced. But, you know, that's probably not going to happen in my lifetime. But because I was a figure skating coach and used that facility for a lot of years, I was gratified to see that building received help from our community foundation.
Now, Colleen, 30 years, we're going to kind of skip around here. You guys are having a big celebration here, and you guys are having a gala. What can you tell me about that?
Well, we as an event committee decided sort of after we were pretty successful with Dancing with the Stars. It was a fundraiser that we held just after COVID, about 3 years ago, and it was a great celebration and a good event for us. And then we kind of lost a bit of momentum on that. And so this year we thought, what can we do to sort of have a big celebration for our community, to invite the community in, to show that the foundation is well and healthy, and we're wanting to be celebrating 30 years of gifting out grants. And so we came up with this idea to have a band. So we have the Bromantics from Moose Jaw, and they're kind of a 50s tribute band. And we've got a dinner, and the dinner is honey garlic chicken with meatballs and gravy, mashed potatoes, pierogies, corn, coleslaw, and buns. So that's good. There will be a bar. We've got sponsor tables that will get a few more perks. If the individual wants to purchase a table, they'll be given a few more perks. And then other tickets are, of course, available online or at the office. If you're not tech savvy and you don't want to use the QR code to get tickets, you can go into the office. The tickets are $75 each. A table of 8 is, of course, $600, and a sponsor table is $1,000. Okay. And as I said, that table will get some perks.
Well, that's good to know. And another question I have that I actually don't know, where is the Beautiful Plains Community Foundation office located?
Oh, well, okay, you know the new street that's been added at the top of the hill going down towards the Habitat for Humanity home?
Yes.
Well, our office is in a little house just beside that street.
Oh, right. Kind of near where the old Eastview Lodge was.
Right.
If you could, yeah.
So I'm trying to think of the address.
No, I'm sorry to put you on the spot here.
But I know how to get there, Josh.
Yeah, I do too. But, it was one
addresses
of those things.
in a small town.
Yeah.
We just don't know.
Someone asked me, I think it was NACTV challenged me if I could name how to get from the highway to the graveyard using only local street names.
Yeah.
And the sheer panic. But that's not why we're here. We're here for the Beautiful Plains Community Foundation 30th anniversary. Now, Colleen, one last thing I would like to ask you about here is that during your 30th anniversary, one thing that you guys have been doing this month is the 30-day giving challenge.
Yes.
What can you tell me about that?
Well, that's been fun. People were asked to submit applications to our executive director and board. And then every month we put their names, all the applicants' names in a box, and we shake the box up and draw out two recipients. And some of the money is up to over $1,000, $750 or $500 to different organizations. So it's been fun. And I think the last one will be drawn at the gala on the December 6th. That's when we're holding the gala up at the Yellowhead Center. But we do need people to come out and support us. We are still sitting a little bit under what we need to keep this event going. So that's why I chose to come on today to see if I could shake the bushes out there and see if I can get some people out to purchase tickets before Friday.
Oh, of course. And then yet again, I will add, the Beautiful Plains Community Foundation is definitely one of the backbones of our town. Like I said, they have distributed over $1.8 million in local grants. Now, you might not have seen a difference and you may not know, but through their grants, from the Yellowhead Center, as we've mentioned, to things as small as different organizations like the Salvation Army and their Christmas hampers, the Bird Sanctuary, pretty much every not-for-profit organization in Neepawa, here at NACTV too, I might add, we have been helped through the Beautiful Plains Community Foundation. So they are truly working all around the community to make sure that these services and not-for-profit organizations can continue to thrive and flourish. So December 6th, is the banquet. Make sure that you are purchasing your tickets here. So yes, make sure that you are purchasing your tickets. We would love to see you there. And like I said, it's such a great cause. Yeah, like I said, the Beautiful Plains Community Foundation does great work. Now, Colleen, just one more time, how can people get tickets for the gala in December?
Yes, well, if you have seen any of the posters around town, there's a QR code in the corner that you could take a picture of, and it'll send you right to the ticket purchasing app.
Okay.
But if you don't want to use that technology, then you can just stop in at the office, talk to Melissa. She'll take a check and you can get your tickets through her. She's in the office today and tomorrow, and we're hoping that we have to make a decision by Friday whether we can put this event on or not. So we need at least 70 more people to buy tickets.
Well, make sure that you're going out to help such a good cause. Like I said, the Beautiful Plains Community Foundation does a lot for the community. Colleen, thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome,
for the chat.
Josh.
It is appreciated.
Yeah.
Always love catching up with what the foundation is doing.
Yes, thanks.
So thank you yet again for this edition of Coffee Chat. I've been the host, Joshua Jackson, yet again joined by the Beautiful Plains Community Foundation's Colleen Taylor. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Hi, and welcome to Coffee Chat. I am today's host, Rain Pryor, and today we are talking about the newly formed Beautiful Plains Community Theatre, which will be putting on their first production this year and have some exciting things leading up to that as well. So my guests today are Blair Chapman and Dawn Walmsley. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So let's just jump right in with how did the Beautiful Plains Community Theatre get started?
Probably started this spring or summer with some conversations with a couple of community members who wondered whether this might be a possibility. And I think this summer watching the work of the summer camp theater crew at the Roxy and thinking, we are in a community that has a rich tradition of the performing arts. And someone living in Neepawa might participate in the elementary school operetta or a Christmas play. At the middle school, the grade 5s put on a production. Major productions have returned to the high school with Aladdin and The Little Mermaid over the last couple of years, and this summer theater camp, and it seemed like the one gap was a community production. We certainly live in an area where we have, lots of opportunities out in Strathclair, and there are many community groups in Brandon, and it seemed to us that there was really no good reason why there wouldn't be one in Neepawa. That's right. So had a meeting of interested supporters, at Arts Forward back in October, followed up with a slightly more select group of people that might take an organizational role, and made the decision to move ahead.
Yeah, because there certainly seemed to be a lot of interest from people.
Yeah. And
of all ages, really.
Of all ages, yep. It is, and again, it's going to vary with the show in terms of the different ages and the cast we're looking for, but it is for members of the community to get involved in.
And I was surprised to realize that while Neepawa has had adult theater group before with White Mud Comedy Company, it was never musicals. Neepawa, despite our long history of major productions, our long history, has never done a community musical before. And in a way, there is kind of a passing of the torch here, because White Mud Comedy Company, who had performed for
83. I started the company in 83.
Yeah. And kind of had our last performance just right before COVID. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're sort of now working together a bit for a fundraiser going into.
Oh yeah,
that's right. First, probably needs to be said that that White Mud has made a financial contribution to the founding of the new theater group, and that is so much appreciated and necessary. Initial costs to start the process of the musical are considerable, so that has gone a long way to put us into a stable position where we can move forward.
And for those people who don't know, putting a stage play on, as opposed to a musical, there's so many more moving parts in a musical, and requires more time. You need more, rehearsal time for music as well as acting, as well as this. There's all kinds of things. So it's a lovely process to see, because people can participate from all sorts of different levels.
And a lot of people from White Mud Company who are still here
I'm sure they will.
Already kind of in contact with you to participate.
Yeah,
so
early buyers in.
So it's very much sort of a transition into Beautiful Plains Community Theater in a very lovely way.
And so we're also fortunate that the White Mud Comedy Company has some experience in producing a Christmas event. I hear us moving into that.
Yes, let's absolutely talk about that, because that's coming up very soon.
Well, we're going to revive Dickens, our Dickens readings again. We did for a number of years, and then COVID
kiboshed
a lot of things.
Yeah.
It changed a lot of things. So it was just exciting when I was contacted to say, well, we're thinking, could we do this to support this, which is marvelous.
Yeah.
And so we'll do our format. Our typical format is...
which is,
there's 10 readings, so we have individual readers, so we're looking for readers. But we have also combined with music, with traditional and familiar Christmas carols prior to each reading, at the beginning and at the end, where the audience participates, but also if we can actually get a group of singers as well to lead in that. We've had a lovely time, and it's not long. It's about
it's an abridged version. It's not the whole book.
Oh no, it's not. It's an abridged version, but we hit all the high points. It's a Christmas classic. It really, Dickens wrote things that set the time, and a lot of our current Christmas traditions come from that book and that time. So it's really quite a way of sort of continuing with building that Christmas spirit. It's going to be held on December the 7th. It's going to be held at Knox Presbyterian Church, which is a nice, lovely venue.
Great.
It's going to be start at 2 p.m. You're looking at maybe an hour and a half if you're going to chat afterwards.
Yeah.
And we're hoping to get people who will be some sort of put together choir that could help lead, and Blair will take care of that end of it.
A little chamber choir of some sort.
And I think we'll put the word out to our community groups, to the choraliers, the hymns, the community choir, and see if we can draw a group that will meet probably twice.
Yeah.
Rehearsals are not going to be very...
No. Reading rehearsals are simple. The first one is for those people who want to read and have read before. I know them. I know how they read and that sort of thing. Hopefully there'll be some new faces as well. It's just listening to them, and then do that one rehearsal and probably a second one just to fine tune it, to get When are you going to move up? What happens?
Yeah.
Consolidating actually what the carols will be, because they will be the cue for the next one coming up.
Yeah.
And then we go from there.